Welcome back to the GridLocked F1 podcast. Today we will be giving a preview to the Qatar Grand Prix that's coming up this weekend. We already had the sprint qualifying and first practice already, and there was a lot to unpack there. So let's get into it. So going into this weekend, we have Norris and Piastri, both 24. Norris is ahead of Piastri and Verstappen by 24 points. They're both back into it, especially it's because of the McLaren double
DNF. So, I think they knew. You could see in their reactions they really weren't celebrating like they normally would have. I think they knew there was issues. I'm surprised that McLaren even finished the race because I feel like sportsmanship wise, if you know you're gonna get like DQ'd, I feel like you should kind of
because I guess they were keeping up the hope that they would stay in.
I guess that is fair. I mean, wasn't it how far out of? Well, like, were they?
Actually, Norris was like 5 seconds behind Max.
No. I meant like how the thickness of the plate, how off was that from the DQ limit?
A few millimeters.
Yeah.
I think they had some whatever thing they added to their plank.
It made it porpoise.
Yeah.
And then
so like a plank protector kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's why it was like, and I guess that's not allowed. So that's why they pace. It was kind of slower.
Mm-hmm.
And you can also see just throughout the whole race, their car was making way more sparks than any other car.
Yeah,
I actually thought like Piastri's wing was broken, like whenever he came on the screen, because it was just sparking.
It was really
damaged. That's usually how it looks like when a wing is broken. Yeah. And at the end, Lando lost like 15 seconds in 5 laps.
Yeah.
Looking at that, obviously, I was like, "There's something up with the car." Obviously, I thought it was like maybe a fuel issue, but it looks like it was that.
Well, I think, okay, so my only thing is, I'm not sure if like exact limits, but if it was a few millimeters, that's like a considerable amount. And I feel like at that point, like the plank is there for some safety reasons. And I feel like if they're wearing that much away, I feel like, from a safety point, they should have kind of just retired their car instead of risking the safety of their drivers and other drivers on the field.
I mean, it's like, that's the performance.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
Riding the car lower.
We do only now have 2 races left with DRS.
Oh, I don't know how I feel about that.
I think I'd like DRS. I feel like active aero will be a bit weird.
Really?
I feel like
I don't really know much about it, so
I don't know much about it as well. I don't like. Is there?
I think it's like
it can only be activated at a certain point. Sorry.
The aerodynamics like automatically like shift depending on like the corner or something like that.
Oh, it's everywhere. They can do it. It's not like within a certain delta.
I don't think so.
Okay.
Oh, they have I think the delta or like DRS replacement is the MOM thing, manual override mod.
Yes.
I guess there'll still be some sort of, power boost. But I guess it'll be more similar to like Formula E, the charging zone, whatever it's called.
The overtake zone. You got to take the non-optimal line to. That would be absolutely terrible.
They're not going to add that to F1 though.
I would sure hope not. So I do like the championship now though being a lot closer than it was in the past. And
I mean, we still need like a absolute disaster class from Norris for there to be like a chance.
I think I'll be honest. I think it's possible. Do you want to give our predictions to kind of start off here for the sprint and then the race?
Sure, but yeah, we can go for it.
You want to do that?
I'll go for it. All right, for the sprint, we see qualifying today. Actually, just talk about the sprint qualifying. Yuki did really, really well compared to Max. Max had damage, right?
I'm like appalled. No, Max's suspension was having issues.
Yeah,
and he said it was just bouncing.
He ran outside the track, and I think he damaged the floor a bit. That's why.
Oh, I did not know that.
But like we can see, like the Red Bull has actually a lot of pace. So just based on how Yuki was so close to the front and actually passed.
Well, yeah, I feel like the facts. Okay, so I think Max starting in the 6th, if they are able to fix the car, which I'm not. I kind of forget the Parc Ferme rules for after qualifying and what would happen.
No, they can fix.
They can fix stuff?
They just can't change the setup.
Okay, that's right. Okay. So I think if it's fixed, I think he can definitely a second, maybe first, because I think he can pass Norris, so that no issue. I think Piastri might give a tiny bit of issue, but I think at the end of the day, McLaren's Mercedes were having a bit like at the in most like almost all the sessions, they were actually not doing terribly too well until like the very much end of them.
Where
So
did Antonelli
them
finish?
Antonelli, he finished in 7th, but he like almost got eliminated in like Q1 and Q2, I believe.
Okay.
So I have like a feeling at least
Mercedes
that
did really well here last year.
I do think that they will do well. I think Max can definitely. I mean, in all reality, I think it'll go Oscar, Max, Lando, George, and then I'm not sure if Alonso will be able to keep pace. That's my only concern. I think he's really good and he can put in those good laps, and his car is apparently good. This is the first time we've seen that kind of this season. But
Adrian Newey actually took over as team principal, right?
yeah, but I don't think yet. I think still. I think that's at the next season. Maybe that's immediately. I don't know. But I think Yuki. I mean, I think fifth will be a battle between Yuki and Fernando
For the sprint.
for the sprint.
Yeah.
What do you think?
You think Kamikaze Yuki is gonna play a factor?
In the sprint, it wouldn't make sense to do it in the sprint, in my opinion.
He said he'll do everything he can to help Max win the championship.
I think he can like impede the hell out of everyone else, and he probably has no issue with getting like a 10-second penalty.
I think if he gets a great start and like moves up to P3 ahead of Norris, because Norris we know like he's not that great at starts, and if Yuki gets a good start,
Ooh,
he can probably like help Max get past
he can
Norris.
help Max. Yeah, that would be interesting.
And we just need to hope like George and Piastri in the front they can like battle each other because we know George he'll go for the move
Mm-hmm.
if there is one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so my predictions for the sprint, I think it's gonna be Piastri. I think George will stick at P2, then Max, and then Norris, and then Alonso. I think that's what it's gonna be. Yuki,
Max, Norris, Alonso. So you think Max in third? Okay.
because I think what's gonna happen is
Well, points are not as much. Sorry.
there's gonna be some sort of if this pace from Yuki is real, there's gonna be some sort of like battle for P3 between Norris, Alonso, Yuki.
I think any day of the week, Yuki will surrender positions to Max, and I think probably the team. I mean,
And
I'm not too sure of his safety with the team, but I feel like maybe they can.
I think it's basically confirmed Yuki's not gonna be there next year because
I mean, unless something kind of happens, you never know.
you seen the interview. He was like, Hajar was like all happy. He's like, I know what I'm gonna be next year. I'll
Well,
be on the team next year. And then Yuki, his interview is, I know something, and I'm not allowed to say it. And he was like really like,
here's the thing. I mean, I don't know if contracts are signed or whatever, but because I don't know when they have to make it public or whatever when they sign a contract. I don't know if it's immediately. I don't know if it's whatever because I think there are rules relating to budget and when they have to notify, like after they sign a certain contract with someone. But I honestly think I don't think Yuki will be pushed off the grid. I just don't think that'll happen. I think
I think he might take a reserve driver role at Red Bull.
I low key think like Lawson would get pushed off the grid before Yuki gets kicked like pushed off.
Lawson's been performing though well.
Well, I just think that I don't know. I just have a feeling that I mean Yuki recently at least I feel like has been performing a bit better. At least like today, like the performance that we saw from him was like kind of never seen before.
The thing with Yuki is that like he has these ups and downs, right? Like he can never formulate a perfect, consistent weekend.
Yes.
Sometimes in practice he's like next to right there with Max. And then in
Mhm.
qualifying he makes a mistake and is out in Q1. Has to like suffer during the race.
Mhm.
Or like he gets into Q3, but then he makes a mistake, 10-second penalty, all the way down to last place. He can and then when you're down there in this era, if you're in the back of the grid, it's really, really hard to get through to the front unless you're like really fast. And he's like never in the correct position.
Mhm.
So I mean, this weekend I guess he's looking like he's got something in store. So hopefully he can show his 100%.
I'm gonna be interested to kind of see what ends up happening. I have a feeling. I think he's able to keep pace, and I think he's trying to show himself now that he's able to do it. Or I think he was kind of capable of this pace, but I don't
Maybe
know what flipped in him to kind of like lock in.
maybe like all the pressure is gone because he's realized he's losing the seat. Maybe he just doesn't perform well in a high pressure environment. I think actually that's like a really good theory on why Racing Bull drivers don't show their whole potential in the Red Bull seat. Because Albon, Racing Bulls, he was Toro Rosso, he performed well. Red Bull suddenly dipped off, and now in Williams, in another low pressure environment, he rekindled his career. Same with Gasly and
Mm-hmm.
Lawson as well. Right now,
Mm-hmm.
we know all that. So maybe that's just they need like a nice like tough driver who doesn't like take any of the pressure. So honestly, bringing in a veteran driver to put next to Max, I think that's a good idea.
Imagine if George's contract gets bought out. We got George and Max.
George is a really
I
mentally
couldn't.
strong driver.
But the thing is, if you have like a long-term driver on the grid, I just feel like that'll never go too well with Max because
Yeah, that's also the thing because those long-term drivers want to win, and if you're in Red Bull, Max is gonna win. So
I mean Max is fairly good. I really think the 26 car for Red Bull will be a lot better than it is now at least, and I think it might be another Red Bull season. I don't know
hopefully
why.
Ford can lock in with the engine.
Sorry.
Hopefully Ford can lock in with the engine.
Have you seen the memes of the EcoBoost engine?
No,
It's just the car going and then just dying in like 3 seconds into a run. It's not their actual engine. It's someone just joking from
I mean I
from
think
some
they were saying
previous
they're
year.
kind of excited about the engine. So let's see.
Yeah.
On the other hand, Ferrari, Lewis Hamilton doesn't seem too excited for next year.
I
He's
think
out in Q1 again.
I don't even know if he's excited for next year. He might just be excited for his contract just to end with the team. I don't know. What do you think on Max and his plausibility now to win the championship? Do you think anything really changes? Do you think tomorrow? I
He's
mean,
usually perfect. I think it's not really in his hands. It's in Norris's hands.
what
Because
if?
if Norris needs to make a mistake himself for Max to win the championship,
Yeah,
like
but what
pure
if?
performance is not winning the
What if the
championship.
pressure gets to, yeah, like it gets to Oscar and Lando, and maybe they start fighting? Because here's the thing, I feel like at the end of the day, that's still I don't think there's any situation where Piastri will be winning the championship.
I
It'll
think
take like an absolute.
Oscar and Max are in the same position right now.
I know. I just think that it would take like a disaster. It'll be hard if Oscar is in a position to win, Max is in a stronger position to win. I feel like from the strength of them being their drivers and how did Max perform at this track last year?
He won.
He won, right?
No, no. Did he win?
Races.
I think no, he did win.
Right, Qatar.
He won last year.
He
Last year was the
won.
year I think Norris
He
got a
won by
penalty.
6 seconds.
Yeah.
Norris probably got a penalty. I mean, Piastri was 6 seconds behind, but 57. I mean, in 57 laps, 6 seconds, 7 seconds is really up there.
And Piastri performs better in this track, like in whatever minute, better than Norris. So let's see. You want to do predictions for the actual Grand Prix?
Sure. So going off of last year, I think. Are we doing qualifying as well, or we're just kind of just predicting? Sending
You
it
can
in?
say pole position as well.
I think Max is going to get pole. I only think this because I mean I know his time on the track. Are we able to hold up 24 races? I want to go to Qatar, and I want to go to because we did see Max last year qualified in sixth for the sprint as well. But for that end of the whole sprint, he was eighth. Oh, that's not good. For qualifying, Max did hit pole, and it was kind of he went sixth qualifying. So I mean, maybe he'll end up in eighth in the sprint, and maybe in the qualifying, I think he'll.
Why did he end
I
up in
think
eighth?
maybe I think his time might have gotten deleted. No. I'm sorry. This is not qualifying. Sprint. I don't know. I don't know how he ended up. Maybe he got a penalty. Because that would make sense. Because it's slightly over 10 seconds.
Oh wait, yeah,
So
I remember that.
maybe he was sorry.
His car was like horrible, like in the sprint and then practice, but then suddenly in the race, suddenly he started performing.
I think we might be seeing that again this year because I think Max can definitely get like a 119 something in the high 119s. I think that is like not totally impossible. I think that's kind of
He topped Q2 or Q1, right?
He topped Q2 and Q3 last year.
I'm talking about sprint qualifying today.
Oh, in sprint qualifying?
I'm pretty sure he topped one of them.
At 2024.
So he has the pace to do it.
Max was at the top of times for Q1. That was it. He did not.
Yep.
He was not up there. I mean, Q2 was very close, but then Q3 he was like half a second behind. But I think with car improvements, I think that he can. I think he can lock in.
All right. So here are my predictions for the race. Pole position, I had Lando. I think he might edge out Max. And then for the actual race, I have Max, George. I'm actually going to change this a bit. I'll do Max, George, PS, Leclerc. And now here's a. So previously I had Hajar in there, but now looking at it, I'm not so sure. I mean, it could be Norris, but I'm projecting for the hopes of the championship battle. Norris doesn't get top 5. So don't come at me, fans. So I'm just projecting that. Could be Alonso, but I think the Aston Martins, every sprint qualifying this year, they've done really, really well. Every sprint race. So I think they just might be sprint merchants. I'll put Sonoda P5.
Okay.
Hopefully he can continue and be consistent, like I was saying before, and not screw up again. Regular qualifying.
I have a feeling. Sorry, I have a feeling that for the race, I think we're gonna go. Wait, actually, let me just look at the qualifying. I think we're gonna go Max, Russell, Piastri. Ooh, I think we're gonna see a surprise from Sainz. I think Sainz in what that would be 4th, and then maybe Yuki in 5th. I think Lando's gonna crash. I think Lando's gonna get the pressure to his head. I think he's gonna crash between lap 20 and 25, turn 2. I'm calling it. Turn 2 between lap 20 and 25.
So we have pretty similar predictions. Just you have Sainz, I have Leclerc.
I think Leclerc is gonna pull something with the Ferrari. The Ferrari's gonna like do something. I mean, I don't know. I just have a feeling Lewis definitely had an issue with his car. I don't think Lewis would ever perform that bad. I mean, it's like over a second behind. I feel like, or it's not over a second. Yeah. It's almost.
Lewis and Ferrari is not the same Lewis as the one.
I don't know, man.
I think he's given up on this year, honestly.
I didn't realize this. Max and Yuki both in total throughout the whole sprint. I mean, they got 20 laps in, which that'll be pretty good. Some drivers did not get terribly. I mean, even ones who got, actually most who got to Q3 kind of did around there. I don't know. I feel like that's one thing that I don't like about like the qualifying and stuff. I mean, well, sprints. They take away some qualifying time, not qualifying, some practice time for some drivers. And I mean, newer drivers, it kind of, I feel like it unproportionately hurts them because they've never driven up the track before. And now they only might have like, for example, so like if you get out in Q1, you might only have like 6 to 8 laps or something in total.
Yeah.
Compared to the people who get 20.
That's why people are like, sometimes they use the actual sprint race as a practice session. Like some reporter asked Lewis if he was going to do that.
Yeah. I mean, he kind of might have to. I don't think he'll have an option.
Okay. So looking forward for an exciting race weekend. I think that's all we have for this episode. Thank you for watching the GridLocked F1 podcast. Watch our other videos, like this video, subscribe down below, comment your thoughts, and stay locked in.
Stay locked in.
Bye.